It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
And I'm back. What's up?
And we're back. Nothing is up.
Nothing.
It's all
Is it all
really down right now.
It's yeah. Ugh. It's so low. It's like 8% low. What? What does that mean, John? I don't know. I'm planting a seed for later.
Wow.
So how's it going, Michael?
It's going. And to stick with something we've been doing for the last 2 podcasts. Also, actually want to go back. What was it? There was something on one of the podcasts that we talked about, and then I listened to it. Fuck it. It'll come back to me. I need to start writing these notes down. Oh, I did re-listen to our diversity podcast. Earlier.
Was it diverse?
It was diverse. And then I realized I said something in there. We were talking about fucking Star Wars, and you were talking about one chick. I don't know their names from the new Star Wars shit. Sure. That was able to like learn the Force like instantly and all that crap.
Oh, Rey. Yeah,
Rey.
The lead character. Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, and fucking, like Han Solo didn't know anything about it either, and they took in 3 movies. I fucking meant Luke Skywalker. God damn it, not
you
Han
retard. I was
wow.
I must have just not known, because I was like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I know you don't really know a lot about Star Wars, and you don't really care all that much. So I was like, I think he might be misconception, but some people have always people have assumed that Han was like Force sensitive and shit like that too. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he read into that and he doesn't know. It's not what we're talking about. It's like,
no. Yeah, no, I listened to it earlier and I was just like, what the fuck did I just say? I was like, of course Han Solo doesn't give a shit about that.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, man.
It's unreal.
But anyways, to stick with what we've been doing in the last 2 anyways, I have something I found on Twitter.
God, of course you did.
A tweeter.
I thought I was the obsessed one.
I literally just looked real quick.
Yeah, sure.
So apparently there's this pro-Trump comedian, Terrence K. Williams.
Okay.
Who says Twitter sent him hateful conduct warnings on the day that he visited the White House. Again, because he's pro-Trump and stuff like that. I'm guessing they're trying to say Twitter's super liberal. I don't know. I'm assuming most social media things are. But I was scrolling through this article, and I found this one thing that he posted about the AOC town hall said it was time, or no, a woman at the AOC's town hall said it was time for humans to eat the babies as a way to stop climate change. And the woman... Just wait.
Okay.
And that was like someone in like the crowd, right? And like there's a video on Twitter and stuff, and it gets like she's really emotional in it. She's like serious too. But the AOC woman, the reason he posted this was because the AOC did not stop this woman and did not condemn the idea of eating babies. So after that, though,
okay,
and this is where it gets fucking hilarious, to me anyways, a political group that supports Trump later admitted they staged this woman to go in there and say that they should eat babies to stop climate control. But the fact that no one denied that they should not eat babies was the whole point. So
that feels like so nothing, because
it's absolutely nothing. But because I found it hilarious.
Well, the whole deal is that you would like to think because everybody's knee-jerk reaction would be, well, of course you need to say something about it and tell her she's crazy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I would like to think we would be operating in a society where we wouldn't need to say it because it's so obviously
Now,
insane.
see, they did say that. She said she deliberately tried to avoid escalating confrontations when she faces hecklers at public events.
Yeah, you fucking baby eater.
So she said it, but the fact that they my fascination is that this, pro-Trump group, whatever, did this just to be assholes about it. I'm like, that's such a liberal thing to do.
Oh goodness. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't watch those kind of circuses. I'm good.
It was funny though. I was just like reading through because I watched the video first. I was like thinking, remember that guy who tried to run for office that was like a grand wizard or some shit like that? Like he wore a wizard cap or something like that. So I kind of thought it was something. I'm not talking about the KKK guys.
Because that's talking, what
I know, but like,
okay,
this was a guy who dressed like a fucking wizard, like Gandalf or some bullshit.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck?
Not like that.
I legitimately thought you were mixing that up, and I'm like, Michael.
No.
Oh, my brain started to melt. Thank you for saving me. It's fine.
But,
we're good. Moving on. Yes.
Yeah, no, like I remember seeing that shit. So then when I watched this video real quick of the chick like just saying, to do this, and she's like taking her coat off and she has like eat the babies now or something like that.
That's fucking
we only
hysterical.
have like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or some shit left. We need to eat the babies. And she's like, even if we blow up Russia or something like that, there's still too many people. We need to eat them.
There's
just
too
like,
many babies.
Oh my god,
there's so many babies.
this shit was funny. Oh, so Twitter, even though you're trying to ban this guy for his political views, this article at least gave me some fun, healthy stuff today.
The only thing I will say on that, just for the sake of it, is I don't think Twitter should ban anybody for hate speech. Like,
No.
I feel really bad about it. But I get it.
What would you consider that hate speech? I wouldn't consider that hate speech.
Not really. No, I would maybe argue it could be like obviously inciting.
I mean,
That
clearly there
conversation
are
to
people
lead to that.
Yeah, but clearly there are people that do use hate speech on there.
Yeah.
And they continuously do it and get away with doing it.
Exactly. But that's the same thing YouTube deals with constantly, is like, how do the bots control ethics and morality and all that
Facebook is
shit.
like cracking down on it a lot more than most others, but Facebook also throws out fucking algorithms to find. You can say like one word and they'll like cut you for like 3 weeks or something like that.
And it's funny, YouTube does a lot of dumb shit. But anyway, and it's so weird that you see like YouTube's backlash and the constant like retrospect of the fact that it did not work, and if anything it made everything worse.
Yeah.
And all these other platforms are trying to follow suit, and it's because they all obviously have an agenda, because welcome to corporations. That's just kind of how the world works. That's why Captain America doesn't want to sign the Sokovia Accords, because it's run with people with agendas. I'll bring that up again. It's a fucking great film. Go watch it. My whole thing is this, that once you start, because like you look at places like the UK, and they actually have like hate speech laws. They don't have freedom of speech like we do. Like if you say something fucked up in the street, you can go to jail, which, I'm not necessarily like super against, but at the same time, it's kind of like we built our foundation on free speech. That's kind of our thing. The second you start saying, I don't want this person to have free speech because I don't like what they say, I think that's a perfect, obvious representation of lack of self-awareness, where it's like people probably don't like what you say. I understand that like in your head it's a big problem because you're like, yeah, but they're saying mean things. It's like, and like, be an adult. Hear the bad things. Realize, because you realizing that they're saying bad things is obviously a good thing. You
Right.
know? It's like, and you can move forward, and it's like without understanding that those things were bad, you can't like have a good conversation about why they're bad, why you shouldn't do this, why you shouldn't say those things. If you try to make this big bubble, it's like, you know, we remove this one bad thing. We try to become this weird utopia. So then what is considered the worst thing? You know what I mean? Once you start dialing back what is bad, it's like, okay, so if somehow we eliminate murders and then we go down, it's like, okay, so stealing's like the worst thing in our society now. Do we kill them for stealing or put them in jail for 10 years for stealing? I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass just because it's like a really curious conversation, because free speech is like a really weird thing, and it's like it's just like I think it really does help with conversation and like moving society forward, but at the same time it can be really
You have to worry about the Demolition Man thing happening.
God, who would have thought that film would become relevant again?
Right?
You know what I mean? It's just like, God, what an underrated film.
But like with that movie, yeah, see, look, we moved it into fucking movies.
Did you like that?
Yeah. But like, yeah, man, it's what that movie was perfect to show like how like becoming such a censored world and such a you know, ooh, no, don't hurt my feelings. Don't even cuss. Otherwise you might get some toilet paper. But yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like, that is what our world seems like it's headed towards. I mean, maybe not as drastic yet, but it's working its way.
People make the joke that like Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook are starting to become the embodiment of 1984. the book and the story, and it's like, I mean, yeah, it seems hyperbolic, but I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, think about it. The fact that we have free speech and we can do the things we want, that's why we get to have a podcast. That's why all these people get to have the things that they want to say. Like on YouTube, you get to have these people who get to review a movie however they want. They get to say how they want to say it and move on. And everybody has an audience, regardless of how big or small it is. There are people who think like anybody who will say something like that. You don't want to believe it, but it's true. It's just how it is. There's so many people out there. The odds of somebody agreeing with you they're pretty high.
Right. Especially nowadays because of social media and all that bullshit. There's so many people. You think that you're like unique. No one is fucking unique anymore.
Yeah. It's
you're the crazy goth kid in your hometown, but there's like 5 billion when you step like 100 yards away, dude. So.
Well, it's the hardest thing. It's because you always make the joke. It's like we're on Twitter or we're on Facebook, and you're like, God, I'm so fucking sick of hearing about this or that, and it's like, you do realize like, the only reason why you're seeing it is because you're online, and that's what people are talking about right now.
Right.
If you just walked outside and walked around, you wouldn't be having those conversations and having those things in your face overtly.
Oh yeah.
Like, every 10 seconds. So it's always perspective. That's why I've like tried to learn to like really take everything with context and like really kind of sit back and like, it's kind of what like judicial system is supposed to be. Like, you know, you're not supposed to do a big grand scale of like this thing is inherently bad. So no matter what happens, if they do this is the rule. It's like, I don't know. Every story is a little different. Maybe we should actually look at the context of what's happening and maybe go from there. But nobody wants to put in the work anymore. Everybody wants to just, bad man said bad thing. Don't agree with bad man. Subscribe to my Patreon. You know, but whatever. There's no right answer. Everybody wants there to be, but there won't be.
It sucks too, because as people that like us we talk about like the pop culture shit nonstop, dude. We're following the trends of like the stupid stuff that's going on the internet, and you know, what is so and so, like all the bullshit with the Joker movie at the moment. Like there's so much shit out there. People hate it, people like it, it's mediocre, whatever. You know, it's just like, who gives a shit anymore? There's so much stuff out there. It's like, it's not, but honestly, it's not even that big of a thing. We see it because it's all over the internet, but you step away from your computer and go out to your neighbor's house. They'd be like, a Joker movie? What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's just like a lot of the times I find people hating the package that the movie's wrapped in more than the actual movie, and it's really strange to me.
A lot of people don't like because, again, with the whole thing of like not my Joker type movie, it basically is what it comes down to.
Well, and it's funny because you have this whole this weird. Everybody's got a different take on it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
You see the nonsense from all sides. And here's an example. So yeah, we'll just use Joker because obviously it's the most prevalent thing right now. But I'd also say it's probably been one of the craziest. Okay, so you have Joker coming out, and so now you have just the immediate nerd culture clashing of this doesn't fit into the DCU we were making.
Right.
I don't like this Joker. He doesn't look like the one from the comics, but which one does that count? This one looks too much like Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did it better. You know, all that fighting.
Yeah.
So you already have the conflict there. Now we pull back away from it, and then we talk about, now we're having like political ideology thrown on it, where it's like, oh no, we have mental illness and it's a white man fighting about society and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, congratulations to almost every story ever made. But now then you have this weird connection to the Dark Knight because we remember Aurora, Colorado. And I'm sorry, I think we're going to delve into politics for a little bit here, just kind of pseudo politics. We're not really talking about where we lean or whatever, just more a commentary.
We're still on pop. We're still on pop.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. But the whole thing is you had the guy who shot up the theater and kind of had like a Joker-esque kind of deal going on with it, and that was surrounding the Dark Knight. So now comic book movies get kind of a bad rap. And
wasn't that for Dark Knight Rises, right? Is that's
sure?
the one he did?
It was somewhere around. It was one of those two. I think it was Dark Knight Rises. You might be right. Yeah. But either way, it's it's with the comic book movie, and so we're starting to have those put under a magnifying glass. But it's the same shit we dealt with video games, and somehow it's been about 20 years and we fucking came full circle back on that.
Right.
But like a perfect example is I'm hearing this headline, and this is from baldmanbad.com.
I love that site.
It's a great site. And obviously it's a pseudo like kind of satire headline for the article, but it's actually really poignant to the way that you watch the outrage.
It's a Christian-based site too, a Christian-based satire.
I don't know. I didn't know that. Thank you. But the headline is media horrified by lack of violence at Joker screenings. Because the whole idea is everybody was pushing this idea that like, I guess I've heard the term incel thrown around a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't super educated on the word, so I'm not really sure what the hell it means. But now that I've been kind of reading up on it, I kind of get it. So I don't want to talk on it too much. But the idea that like there's this whole like it's going to incite violence. Do you remember what happened with the last Batman movie? Joker is this like inspiration for young white males to go up and shoot things, and so like
not really.
And well, dude, it's all over. Like, that's where like the media outlets and like everything is kind of moving towards to try and like, it's essentially clickbait and trying to move an agenda and do all this stuff. And it's strange that we're at that point, but also I always tell people, I'm like, this is also why movies and stories need to be better told.
Right.
Because people take this shit seriously, regardless of whether or not you do or you think it has an effect on anybody. They're stories, man. They're important. Characters are important. They can inspire people, good and bad. You have to take the good with the bad. It's just how it works. But to sit around and bash something for no reason seems strange. I was just like, you want to push this outside narrative so badly that you're not willing to go in and actually watch the content and go, is this worth using? You know what I mean? You'll be sitting there and it's like, at the end of the day, is this really even going to support the thing I'm trying to tell people? So I don't know. It's weird that like movies, movies are getting a lot more attention because of like all the gender politics and all the stuff that's going on in Hollywood and like now it's
funny though that they always attack like the like for Joker, for instance, is a villain, your traditional villain, and all that, and they're saying they're basically glorifying like being a bad guy, being crazy, whatever. I haven't seen the movie yet.
They even say like sympathize with a bad person.
But it's like, and then they're like, people are gonna see these violent movies and do these same things. But it's like, dude, I grew up on violent action movies. Fucking Rambo would stab people, kill them, slit their throats, shit like that. I never went out and did that stuff. Deadpool, they didn't give shit for Deadpool. And that's a good guy doing the same shit.
Yeah, like an anti-hero doing stuff. Yeah,
or the Punisher.
Yeah, it's my whole thing is like it's so superficial that the way they look at it. I go, they're trying to sympathize the villain. It's like, well, maybe that's the point. Maybe they want you to go in there, sympathize with them, and then have this weird internal conversation with yourself. Like, why would I sympathize with him? Why would I do that? That's not right. Like, knowing inherently that you don't side with the villain and makes you have a conversation with yourself. Probably not a bad thing.
Have they ever watched any, like, what was it, Flash episode? You sympathize with some of his villains. They purposely try to get you to feel for them.
They even got some of them to flip, like Leonard Snart. Shit like that. You also have like, Thanos, dude.
Yeah, Thanos, Loki.
Yeah. The whole point is it makes them interesting. It's good storytelling. And the fact that you're just going to look on the side. But again, it proves that just media is insane. You need to learn, people need to learn to just take in multiple sides. Regardless of whether or not you want to hear their point of view, you need to hear it. Because if you only listen to the shit that you agree with, you have no perspective. You have fucking Good Morning America. I'm about to shit on GMA. I'm sorry, buddy. I know you and your wife listen to it all the time. They're putting out stuff about how Joker's not for kids. It's rated R, you dipshit. What do you think these ratings are for? Like,
not only that, you watch a trailer. Watch a trailer. It has the rating on the trailer too, but still the trailer should show you it's like, oh, this doesn't look like a movie a kid would enjoy anyways.
That's what I'm saying. That was the other thing. It's like if you put your kid, how old's Caleb?
He's 5.
You sit him down in front of a TV, you turn on the Avengers trailer and you turn on the Joker trailer. What fucking movie is that kid going to get hyped for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those deals where I go, that's when I hate the media, because like them talking about something like it's either, okay, so now we either have a bunch of morons who have a platform to speak to everyone on a morning thing, or they're disingenuous and deliberately doing something awful. Right. It was one of these things, like I've even told Hannah about this at work, where like some bosses or something will say something to me and I go, we're having a conversation right now and our issue here is either you're really, really stupid or you think I'm really, really stupid. And either way, I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So it's really strange. I really wish we could get off the politics stuff and actually maybe watch the content and review it off of that and go, this is really shitty. And why is it shitty? Because art's usually supposed to be some type of reflection of social commentary, of the person who created it, like giving their perspective on things they see, but doing it in a fictional way. I don't know. People don't want to infer things for themselves anymore, and writers don't even want to give you a chance to do so either. Like nowadays, you just exposit everything. Like, it's just everything just feels so lazy and cheap, and honestly just disingenuous. So then when something like, I mean, I haven't even seen the Joker, but based on reviews and stuff, when something like that comes out, it's like it was thought-provoking, and regardless of whether or not you liked it or it was considered quote-unquote good or bad, it started a conversation. and an intelligent conversation from time to time. And it's just that's what good stories are supposed to do, man. That's why I don't understand why people get so pissed off where they're like, oh, it's a fictional character. Why do you care so much? Like the whole like Luke Skywalker thing, or like when people go and reset context for certain characters. It's like, it's really important. Storytelling is important regardless of whether or not they're fictional. Here, let me give you an analogy that I gave to Hannah yesterday and see if you think I'm off base. And I would like to know from the listeners at some point if I'm insane or projecting. I go, okay, so you have a fictional character like a Luke Skywalker. I'm going to go with him because he's pretty relevant on damage control for characters. Or Game of Thrones would be great too. Characters that you followed for somewhere 9 years or 30 years or whatever. And then they completely switch it and recontextualize that character and essentially ruin the idea that you had of that person. It's like, why do I care? It's because maybe he inspired me for a very long chunk of my life. Imagine you're a kid, right? Whose father died before you were born, right? So you grew up, and the only thing you knew about your dad was through photos and stories, and like the home videos or whatever that your mom gave you. And like every night she'd tell you a bedtime story about maybe he was a military guy who died in the army. That's why you never met him, and talked about all these grand things and how nice he was and how wonderful and loving he was to everyone. And then you turn like 30 and you meet somebody new and they knew your dad really well. And they goes, actually, he used to be really abusive. He beat your mom a lot, did this, did that. And it's like, whoa, wait, what? And people would make the argument. It's like, well, he was a real person. I go, I don't know. For me, he was fictional.
Right.
I only knew him through stories. He was an idea.
I mean, maybe they're taking real world circumstances such as like, you know, we all loved Cosby and then we found this dark, deep secret and then bam. So now they're like, hey, let's do that to their fucking characters too.
Well, and it's, but I'm saying more, it's like, I mean, how devastated would that person be to learn that news?
Yeah. Some people would, depending on it, like in real life circumstances, not in shows. In real life, you know, some people would just be like, I don't believe that. You know, it's one person out of like 10 other people that have told me about my dad, you know. Whereas like it with a TV show that I've been watching, say I've been watching, you know, a show, or like you said, Luke Skywalker, for so long, and then they go and he just chucks his fucking lightsaber when we first see him finally after so many damn years. It's like, what the fuck? It wasn't even funny. Like they tried to play it off as a joke, but it's not funny. You know,
and it changes the way you look at his character, and then it's like, well, no, it's just for that movie. It's like, no, you think about all the stuff he did at the beginning, and you're like, okay, was he always like this? Maybe I just didn't notice. You start to question yourself. Like, maybe was it all a lie and I didn't notice? Am I that naive? What's wrong with me? And I go, you really don't think that that's important? And people don't hold that stuff. The people should hold that stuff up. It's important. I understand that I've always sounded overtly passionate about storytelling and blah, blah, blah. But it's because you don't realize how much you really enjoy something or how much something means to you until you see somebody legitimately just take a shit on it and just go, well, I fucked up this thing you really, really liked and you're mad at me. But you know what? You're just a fucking nerd. Stop being mad. It's fake anyway. Go wear your Halloween costume and fuck off. It's like, wow, okay, cool. Get fucked me. You know what I mean? You know, fuck me for enjoying something that was inspirational for 30 years of my life. I don't know.
Right.
It's really strange. I mean, people
not
do
only
it with
inspirational, it changed a lot of shit for storytelling too.
Yep.
So
it's innovative. Even like sometimes technologies in shows change stuff in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of my favorite episodes of DC Legends of Tomorrow where they go back and accidentally fuck up George Lucas to not going into filmmaking. And because of it, Ray Palmer doesn't decide to become a scientist because of all the sciencey stuff.
With Star Wars and Star Trek both like really pushed innovation with like their shit. Like we wouldn't have iPads and flat screen TVs and stuff like that unless they were in, of course, Star Trek first, you know, fucking
or even just
tablets, cell phones.
Yeah, or even just to like minimalize it and make it like on a personal level, just for somebody being inspired. Imagine people who saw Indiana Jones or Jurassic Park and went out became historians or archaeologists or scientists because of that stuff. Like, I don't know. Shit's important, and people are kind of just going, it's mindless entertainment. It's like, no, that's what you're letting it become. That's the problem.
Right.
So, and so like, I don't know. At some point, I would like people to stop being so fucking lazy. CW, I'm looking at you. Because they had really, really good stuff, and watching the decline, consistently watching this decline into mediocrity is really sad, because fucking Christ.
All right, guys, so this is another Myke mute on John. He has absolutely no idea what I'm saying right now. He won't hear any of this until you guys hear it when he goes and listens to the podcast when it drops. So we're actually doing a new segment, is what I'm creating here, for the topic coming at hand. So I hope you enjoy this little intro to the segment, and if it does well, we'll keep on doing it. All right, guys, here we go.
What the fuck, CW? What the fuck, CW? What the fuck, CW? We love you so much.
But what the fuck?
So
Hannah,
with CW, you watched the first
Fucking
episode
Batwoman.
of Batwoman. Is
Fucking
that the only thing
Batwoman.
that's dropped so far? As we record this cast, anyways.
As of right now, I believe we're at the time where Flash's new
Everything's
episode's
dropping.
out.
Okay.
I think Flash, Supergirl, and Batwoman have all dropped at this point.
Okay. I have yet to watch any. I
I
might
don't
wait.
watch Supergirl, so obvious. I might check this season out just because I'm curious about the new suit look.
Her whole body suit.
The bodysuit doesn't look bad. The bangs thing looks really dumb. But I actually really did like her like skirt outfit. I thought it was really
Yeah.
I thought they made something that could have looked really hokey look pretty legitimate, and I'm kind of sad that they didn't just update that and kind of keep with it. But, Zero Suit's kind of cool. Whatever. Like, Zero Suit Samus is awesome. So I'm like, this could look cool on camera. Hopefully they change her hair, though. I think she looks really dumb. I don't like bangs, so subjective. My bad. I'm just kind of hoping maybe because of Crisis coming, maybe we'll see a little more, like, interloping of some Supermen. Maybe that Tyler guy will jump around and say, hey. Because I really fucking like that guy.
We'll see. We'll see.
Batwoman finally came out, and oh man,
That they've only dropped one ep, right? So it was the first pilot episode, I'm guessing, or
yeah. Which, to be completely honest, it felt like they did the pilot episode and the season finale all in the same episode. It was insane. Like
Now this is like the first episode. So walk me through this a little bit, just in case. The first episode takes place before she becomes Batwoman, then, right? Like at the beginning. So it's before even like she met Arrow and Flash and all them in that crossover.
So no, I think this is like a flashback. Or yeah, I think that's what you might have said. I think I'm dumb. Because she meets him in Elseworlds, and then this is a drop back origin for her. So
Right.
So we don't hear anything about other metas or anything like that. It's just her Gotham. It's all her world building. That's it.
Because I saw a picture you posted in our group, and she even have the red wig on there. I was like, wait, that looks just stupid without the red hair.
It does. It looks really dumb. And it's like, you can tell, you feel bad because like a lot of people are like, get over it, dude. It's a temp suit. She's good. It's like, it obviously doesn't have the wig and stuff on it. I go, yeah, it doesn't make it look any less stupid. Don't shoot it like that, or like reshape her head in post. It was the
Right.
same problem they had when they took the chin strap off of Barry's outfit on The Flash. He looked like he looked like Megamind. He looked like an idiot. I go, oh my God. And it's like, oh, big surprise. They gave the chin strap back for this next season of The Flash because they realized it looks stupid. God, could you imagine? And I still sit back and I go, can you imagine being Stephen Amell? Like, in that last crossover for Elseworlds, like, fucking Barry gets to wear his suit and look like a sweet badass, and Stephen Amell got put into the worst-looking Flash suit of the entire run. He looks like a fucking asshat. God, Batwoman, dude, was so fucking terrible. It was so bad. I started watching it. I got about 13 minutes in and I turned it off because I go, I never want to watch this show again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to wait till Hannah gets home and we're going to watch it together. So she knows I'm not insane and we just never talk about it again. Dude, it's fucking abysmal. Like, you know how people talk about pacing and like sometimes they don't actually know what they're saying. They just kind of say it because it's like the review thing to say, like, oh, I didn't like the pacing. It's like,
The
will you elaborate
pacing
on
is
that?
kind of slow. The pacing is this. The pacing feels hard.
Yeah, I've actually heard that. The pacing is hard. The pacing seems very difficult. I'm like, what? What does that mean?
The pacing
God.
seems difficult.
I was like, wow. Okay. That sounds like something Chris Stuckman would say. Anyway, I'm just sitting here like, this is a perfect example.
No. Wait. Chris Stuckman would say, the pacing seems kind of hard. And Stuckmanized.
But if we really want to understand pacing, we're going to have to talk to this philosopher. Shut up. The whole thing is like, this is a good example of bad pacing because not only are we introduced to pretty much everybody who's going to be in this show, like everyone, any character that's going to have any major relevance in this show, immediately we meet them all, every single one of them. And like, we just do it in such a lazy way.
All within
It's
the
like,
first episode.
all first episode. Not only are we getting that, we're getting kind of the backstory. We find out that like, Cassandra Cain, like, she opens up, she's like in like some Arctic area training with this really racist Inuit Indian guy who talks like a really racist Inuit Indian guy. She's like under ice and like punches her way out of ice in the middle of the Arctic, and she weighs like 105 pounds, so she looks insane. I'm not really going to cover like a ton of it just because a lot of the reviewers are all saying the exact same thing because it really is that blatantly obviously bad. But like literally like the guy gives her like a satellite phone and goes, "It's call for you, girl who talk too much." I go, wow. It's like, wow. Okay. So I guess we're going to prop up all these lesbians and, you know, alphabet people, but we're going to just be really overtly racist, but because we're being progressive in a different way, it's all good. We're fine. Because that's like the one thing nobody's talking about, and I'm just like, wow, the guy might as well have been wearing like an Eskimo outfit or like a fucking.
Is he like a Native American or something? Or
I don't know. They're in the Arctic.
Trying to be.
I don't know. That was the thing. He looked like Raiden. He looked like Raiden from the first Mortal Kombat movie. It was insane. I don't know what this man is because we never see him again. It doesn't matter. It's just to prove that she could do something cool. Like, you know, like, hey, she did the thing that Bruce Wayne did and went and learned how to fight.
Right.
Even though she was in a military camp, so we didn't really need her to go off and do other weird shit.
I was gonna say she's supposed to be post-military.
In the comic books, the way it works, and this is why her character would have been a little more interesting, is she's ex-military.
Yeah.
Who leaves, and she uses guns. Like, that's her big thing.
Yeah.
She uses military tech that she gets from her dad, who runs a secret service company called the Crows. And like, so she uses guns and supplied tech by her dad, and I think she even steals it from him. So like, he doesn't necessarily know until later. So it's all really strange that like they kind of nerfed her backstory a bit. She doesn't really use a ton of. You don't really get to see her use a ton of weapons and stuff.
In the first
really...
episode, did they like introduce Lucius's grandson or some shit like that?
Sure, the son, nephew. I have no idea. They pretty much made him Finn from Last Jedi. He's kind of bumbling, stupid, funny guy. I think essentially they're going for like Felicity meets Cisco.
Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to be gay too.
Kind of
right?
you remember. I'm under the impression that every single person in this show is gay or bi at some point in their life. I mean, I'm just gonna play it like that because there's no consistency in this show anyway, and it's one fucking episode. Do you know Echo Callum, who plays Mr. Terrific on Arrow? or did or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of think that character. It's kind of what they're doing with him. They're
That's
like
what I thought when
sidelining
I
him
saw the trailer of him. He kind of like, I was like, why didn't they just pull him in instead, you know?
I told Hannah that too. I go, that would have been a great way to like,
because
your worlds collide a little bit.
Yeah, and he has the tech and shit like that. And he did disappear from Arrow for a bit, so he could have been helping her out anyway.
Yep.
So it's like, you know.
They just made their world a little bit smaller, and it's kind of lame. The Gotham stuff looks good. Like when they do like the wide angle-y, like there's like a couple of shots that look like they're kind of fucking just pulled out of the Dark Knight, which is kind of cool. But they just do some really fucking dumb shit. Like they put like the Batcave or a Batcave underneath Wayne Tower versus under Wayne Manor.
Yeah, they saw that in the trailer.
That was really weird. And they don't really explain any of it. And like, oh man, can Ruby Rose not act? Holy fuck. I was going to give her the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, it's the CW. You don't really need to act that good. You know, you could work. And I fell into the trap.
From what I saw of like bits and pieces, she just looks like she's being herself.
Pretty much. She's doing Momoa-itis stuff and like, but even like being like really monotone, and it's just like, and because the dialogue's so bad, it's more inherent. Like you can tell.
Mm-hmm. I was really hoping that at least I really do hope that they evolve it to be more like what we saw in that crossover. Because
I really liked her in the crossover.
She was good. So,
I thought it was dope. I mean, granted though, I guess maybe I think we got caught with the dangly keys because it was a fight scene in Arkham, and like she was already using all her tech and doing some cool shit. So it was like there was no real dialogue or anything like that.
I mean, she had a little bit like some dialogue when they were in Wayne Tower or some shit when she was out of suit though.
Yeah, but you didn't need a ton of like good acting for that because there was so much spectacle going on. You get a little bit of a pass. When it's you carrying the scene, it becomes a lot more apparent that you don't know what you're doing.
Especially because in the crossover, it wasn't just her alone in the scene. It was her, Amel, and
fucking everybody. And like I said, I think I fell into the trap because everybody says like one of the first things they do is they brush off the CW. They go, well, it was always shit. And it's like, it really wasn't, dude. Why do you think everything's kicked off the way it has?
When people tell me that the CW actors are shit, not just shows, actors, I'm like, have you ever watched iZombie?
Yeah.
That show right there has good actors in it. Like, oof. And I didn't even realize that it was a fucking CW show when I started watching that shit.
I love Malcolm Goodwin, I think is his name, the guy who plays Babineau.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's so on my radar now. I've decided I follow him on Twitter. I'm gay. I'm sorry. Mostly because anytime he makes an announcement about something he's in, I'm like, I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna go rent it and watch it because he's fucking phenomenal. Rahul, the guy who plays Ravi, is going to be in the next Haunting of Hill House or whatever, the next Netflix horror show.
They're doing a TV show on it?
They already did one. They already did season 1. They're going to do a season 2.
Haunting of Hill House?
Yeah.
Like not House of Haunted Hill? Or
no, completely different.
It's the other
completely
one.
Different.
Okay, yeah.
You're not the first one to do that, so I will not make fun of you. I would check it out. I've heard very good things. I heard it's really, really spooky. I think it might be up your alley, especially for October. But yeah, he's going to be in season 2, and I think it's pseudo anthology, so it should be interesting. But again, get back to Batwoman. It's so hard to talk about Batwoman because I'm not even mad at it. It's just so spectacularly bad that it's just so meh. Honestly, I imagine it'll get a season 2 just because of the gender politics stuff, and people who like that stuff are gonna show up for it. Storytelling wise is fucking abysmal, dude. Like, I'm talking about pacing again. They do the flashback stuff. They introduce her at the academy. Then she gets kicked out because she's gay. She meets Lucius. She finds the Batcave. She's already in the suit. We meet the main bad girl, who's Alice. Her girlfriend gets kidnapped and saved in the same
Alice
episode.
As in
It looks like Alice in Wonderland, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, so it is the Alice I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Just kind of like a discount Harley Quinn. who likes to throw butterfly knives, I guess.
Yeah. They had Alice in Gotham.
Oh, okay. I missed it. I don't remember it. I remember the Mad Hat. They had the Mad Hatter in Arrow once. He was the guy doing the fucking.
They had Mad Hatter in Gotham too, multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you need to go back and rewatch that show.
I do want to go back and rewatch it because I really like it. And they finally put everything out on Netflix, so I think I might do a big binge run with Hannah just because I like that show. And then they also, fucking spoilers, who cares? If you were gonna watch Batwoman, you've probably seen it already. Her main villain ends up being her stepsister, or her actual sister, I believe, who you thought was dead.
For that season or that episode?
It's Alice. I don't know. It's her sister. It's revealed that her sister and mom died in the flashbacks because Batman tried to save their car from falling off a bridge, but the Joker stole a school bus full of kids. So Batman just grappling hooked the car to a tree so it wouldn't fall, and then he chased the school bus. So do we get
to see a Batman? Or is it the shadows of the Batman?
I think it's just like silhouette.
Just like they did in Titans and fucking Gotham.
Yeah.
And because they can't legally use they can use every character but Batman on TV until they. I'm hoping in the crossover they pony up some extra money and be like, hey, let us use him once.
Let's see. So she's got so Ruby Rose, Batwoman has like this vendetta against Batman because she thought like Batman just bailed on her family and that's why they died or whatever. And then she finds out it wasn't true. He was like busy trying to save more people versus just them.
Batman
so then it's
is
like
her family though, right?
Cousin. Yeah. Fucking dumb. So dumb.
Which how did that work out like in the comics? Because I don't even know. Like you're a cousin of Bruce Wayne, and yet you guys don't ever talk or nothing until you decide to become a superhero.
Well, especially when his fucking parents are murdered and he's essentially orphaned. It's like,
right?
I don't know, maybe my cousins could have been like, hey, buddy,
that's your uncle. Her dad would be his uncle. So it's like,
exactly.
Why didn't he get any money when Bruce Wayne died or Bruce Wayne's parents died and shit? So
or even I was gonna go more. I love how you went there. I was gonna go more like, hey, you're like my uncle who's like part of a successful business. I mean, can I come live with you for a minute instead of my butler? Like, I don't know.
Or like, okay, so the house was passed down from generation to generation. How come they didn't have a take in any of that? Like, they're not billionaires and.
Well, it's because that
unless they're like long lost cousins or some shit. They're probably like cousins through marriage 5 times over or some shit.
Speaking of question, I know this is pseudo irrelevant. In Dark Knight Rises, when fucking Bruce Wayne's talking to fucking Michael Caine and he's like, the footsteps and voices echo through these halls. It's like, no, they don't, bitch. That fucking mansion burned down in the first movie.
Brand new house. I said the same fucking thing in Dark Knight Rises. It's like none of this is old,
Movie's fucking terrible.
And
anyway,
then the way the construction of that house, anyway, dude. That house would not look like that.
Yeah, it's fucking made it sound. It's all nonsense. Anyway, back to Batwoman, which is also terrible. It's like, all that stuff. Literally, they introduce all of these people. They literally go like they're doing lazy shit. Like, oh, who would have thought I'd see my beautiful wife here? It's like, bruh, can we just go, please? I don't need you to say that. I'm not 5. And like when she gets a phone call from her stepsister or whatever, or her girlfriend, or I don't know who the fuck.
So would you say the writing is as bad as Titan's writing for you?
I would say this was actually worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's the writing or the acting?
Both.
It's
this whole thing's lazy.
See, you gotta be. I really wish. There would be a comic book like adaptation thing out there that stars a woman that you like, so people don't think you're just a sexist asshole.
I know, right? Dude, fucking aliens. I love aliens. Terminator 2. Linda Hamilton's like one of the greatest. That's why I still get pissed that they fucking put Amelia Clark in that spot. It's so fucking lame.
WandaVision, that will be your show, bro. WandaVision.
Dude, I hope so. I like Scarlet Witch, and I like Black Widow. Why didn't we get a Black Widow movie? Fucking Christ. I hate you, MCU.
You're going to hate the Black Widow movie, too, because it's going to be like, because apparently Tony Stark's coming into it, and you're going to be like, oh, they're fucking retconning everything. God damn. And then everyone's just going to think you're just a pure hater.
Well, it'll be interesting because because the rumor is it's supposed to take place between, I think they said Civil War and Infinity War.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard.
So we'll see how that goes.
So is she gonna have? I mean, it would have to be before Infinity War because I haven't seen any blonde-haired pics yet.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I mean, with the comic book female thing, I would make the argument that it's not my fault that these people can't adapt something good. I was the first one who said I was really excited to see Batwoman. I was like, I saw Elseworlds. I'm like, fucking give me that show right now. And then I saw the first trailer and I go, I don't know yet. I'll give it a minute. And then I saw the next trailer and I go, oh no. Oh man.
Well, you do like Legends. I would say Legends is more of a female-led show.
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah. Get fucked. Yeah, fuck everybody. Katie Lotz is bae. She is my girl, dude. She's the best. Not only is she the best Black Canary, but then like she's just good at everything else. I don't care. She's badass. I actually like Zari. I liked. I even liked the girl that they replaced her with, the wind girl. The Wind Totem. I don't remember her name.
The one that they just replaced with the dude?
Yeah. Yeah. See, yeah, I'm sexist. Whatever. Look, man, and Birds of Prey's probably going to suck too, and it's not my fault. It's a bad movie. What do you want?
It looks fun. It's going to be what it is.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's going to be what it is. Thank you. Consume product. Move to next product. I get it.
Consume.
I do want it to be good, though, because I do like Margot Robbie as Harley, if that helps. Everything else looks kind of bleh about it, but whatever. But man, no, Batwoman, it's insane. The reason why I say pacing is because not only do they introduce every single main character, they pretty much introduce every single main storyline, and then they gave the reveal and conclusion to pretty much all of it. It's like she was having the flashbacks and she's mad at Batman. I don't know. That's something we could have held on to for like 3 episodes until she found out the truth. She thought that her sister was dead, and they go, well, Batman never found the body. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're presumed that she's still alive. And then immediately we look down and like there's like a gem on the knife that the chick threw at her, which she threw a fucking knife at her and it embedded into a stone wall. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. How lazy is this? It's insane. And not even like some special knife or it's like special, but it's like, no, it's a fucking butterfly knife. And like this 110-pound blonde crazy person in a tutu chucked it so hard it embedded the blade into a fucking concrete wall. Fuck off. Also, just they do all these like things that you think would be really clever and they're just so fucking dumb. They did a thing where where Batwoman like jumped off a building and like opened the cape and flew off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it looks hilarious. I laughed. There's like a newspaper magnet pinned to like and I know a magnet's not a pin, shut up. Magneted to a fridge or a wall or something. The magnet's a bat. I'm not kidding. It's like a little bat magnet.
Yeah.
I want to die. And then like they open up, like they show her the suit for the first time, which obviously has like compartments for tits. And like on the chest plate, the boobs are already there. It's like, wow, Batman's really man boobing out. Then they open like the the generic like reveal of all the tech. So there's all these weapons. So you have like one panel that's obvious. It has like the grappling hook and like, batarangs and, a couple of cool things. And in the other panel, because you could tell, instead of just making more batarangs or something and just going, here's all our tech, there's like a fucking crossbow. There's a bunch of axes in there for some reason. There's a couple of meat cleavers.
When did Batman use that shit?
Bruh, I don't know.
Or is it confiscated stuff from the Joker, maybe?
No, it's like in his weapon panel right next to the suit. I'm telling you, it's
usually
insane.
He had like the batarangs, the bat grappler hook, his bat belt.
Maybe
had
smoke
everything.
pellets.
Smoke
pellets, maybe. I don't know.
What the bat
credit
wallet?
card? It was making me miss the bat credit card, man. Like, it was so dumb. You know what it looked like? It honestly, God, I wish, like, this is the one time where I was like, I wish we had a video cast so I could put up, like, clip art. Have you ever gone to, like, fucking, what's that bullshit store? Sharper Image?
Yeah.
Or like a Brooks and Stone or whatever the fuck. You know, the place where you'd shop for your dad on Christmas when you couldn't think of what to get him? You'd open, fucking Christ. I think like Walmart. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about it. Have you ever seen like those barbecue sets with all the utensils and they're all silver?
Yeah.
And they come in their own like little silver carrying briefcase, and it looks like really stupid. It looks like the briefcase you'd get like that would have like $1 million of money in a movie. Yeah. That's what all our weapons look like. They're all silver and they're like hanging on the wall. It looks fucking dumb. I was like, apparently Batman has like a fucking cutlery, like butcher shop on the side. It's so stupid, dude. And like, again, there's just like, I was sitting there telling Hannah, there's gotta be something here. The fight scenes aren't that good. Cause like they have her like overpowering these huge dudes and they go, well, that's sexist. She can't do that. I go, no, like, it's not so much that, like, we haven't earned the fact that she's like super strong or anything and like could fight these guys. It's like, I wouldn't expect Robin to be able to come, and we're talking like, like Jason, like a younger Jason Todd Robin, like from the comics or whatever, or the cartoons.
Yeah.
Like Damian. He trained with the assassins, but it doesn't mean he's going to punch a full-grown man in the face and knock him out. He would be trained to like move quicker and destabilize and trip him and hit him with things and be faster and use his size.
With like Damian, like he would know pressure points though.
Exactly. Or like he
that.
would have these, or he'd have these weapons to like know, like, here, I trip you here and drop you here and break your nose and do this like quick movements. And that's what she should be doing because she doesn't have all her tech yet. So we got to prove that she can handle her own without her shit. And man, it's just so lame. And like she gets hit in the face.
I saw her fight. I've seen her fight in the Triple X movie. She can't move that fast.
It's weak sauce, dude. And like, there's a scene where Alice has her like strung up, and she fucking destroys her with like a cricket bat or something right across the face.
Yeah.
We cut to the very next scene. They're stitching up her shoulder because I think she got knifed, but we didn't see it happen. And like, it was like a slash move, and we go, and we don't actually see any blood or anything.
Right.
And fucking just demolished her across the face with a cricket bat. Very next scene, no bruise, no blood, her hair even looks perfect. I'm like, this is what lazy is, dude. Go back, because as soon as we finished the show, I had to prove to Hannah, I'm like, I swear to God, the CW didn't always suck. I swear to God. We went back and watched the very first episode of Arrow. We just had to. And it's like, we open up on handhelds just sprinting through woods, and like Amel is like fucking parkouring on the side of a mountain. Like, it's so awesome, dude. And like, you like all the characters and everybody's acting. It's like, what happened? When did this turn into just a formula that just is so nothing and has no heart in it? It's so fucking lame. I'm sorry, dude. Like, Batwoman is terrible.
Well,
terrible.
Just so you know, she's not gonna be in part 1 of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I wouldn't be surprised if they potentially go back and reshoot and don't even put her in it.
She's scheduled. I'm looking at this here. It shows her as part 4, part 5, part 2, and part 3. But she's not in part 1. And I'm guessing Supergirl is going to be part 1. because Supergirl's the only
Yeah.
one that doesn't show her as part anything. So yeah.
My biggest guess would be is the reason why they went so fast on the origin story was that they
Pump
wanted
it out
to
before this shit.
and I think they thought maybe like if we knew everything about everyone, we wouldn't need to put in the work. So when they inevitably reset the universe with Crisis and try to make Batwoman like the new lead person, we would have already been established. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just like Captain Marvel. They just didn't earn it. They wanted to move so fast. I don't give a shit about all these characters. So because since you don't really have an emotional attachment to them, I don't care what happens to them. Like there's no weight involved in any of the decisions that they make. And because of that, I have no leeway for when they do something stupid. You know what I mean? When they do something really fucking dumb, you go, okay, I'm out. I'm done. There was no, like with The Flash, you could sit there and go, season 1 was so absolutely phenomenal. I liked all these characters. I liked everything that happened. So season 2 is doing pretty well. So when weird shit starts happening and characters are making bad decisions, you kind of go, okay, maybe they're trying something different. Maybe I'll see where this goes. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But with this, there's no benefit. It was the same with
every time something just doesn't seem right, I just assume Barry fucked it up in the timeline.
Yeah, right. I love that joke. Like, oh, Barry, what'd you do now? I would just say, I would honestly say, I mean, people are gonna watch it. Like, people are gonna hate watch it to check it out. People are gonna check it because they were absolutely like on the fence. Maybe they were actually intrigued. I would 100% say, do not take a reviewer's point of view for this one. Go see it because this is legitimately the worst CW superhero introduction I've ever seen.
Even from Supergirl.
Absolutely. I think at least Supergirl, their world was good. Their actors were charismatic. Again, I will always say with Supergirl, I think it was bad directing and bad script writing that killed that show.
Well, they push a lot of shit into it too. There's a lot of agenda pushing into it.
But their world was solid. Like Martian Manhunter looked pretty good. The guy who played him seemed pretty solid. All good-looking characters, all charismatic,
I'm still
likable
pissed
people.
that Martian Manhunter's like the one character they do in CG. And you see hundreds of other aliens throughout the show in makeup. I'm just like, come on, man.
Well, I think, yeah.
Because he could look so much cooler with just some makeup on, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, also you have to give the stature and stuff, too. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass. And that actor's pretty old. Do you really think you want to shove him in the makeup chair every day for a Martian Manhunter?
Pay him an
Just a
extra couple grand for the season and shut him up.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, no, I would absolutely say, no, there are things to like in Supergirl. I just don't like it. I don't like the politics and I hate the bad dialogue.
Yeah.
I really hate bad dialogue. I really do.
Well, I'll have to watch Batwoman. But I'm gonna wait until 2 episodes are out and watch it back to back.
Yeah.
I always feel that shows that aren't as good usually work better for me when I watch them back to back. Like Inhumans, I watched it all back to back. And it made it a better, and it still has a horrible story, but it made it better for me.
Yeah. I can always agree that pilot episodes are never the strongest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, very seldom are you going to get a pilot episode where you're like, oh, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, they're in. This was like, you already had some buildup. You already had your actor ready to go in Elseworlds. You've already seen them on set doing the stuff, and you had so much time, and this is what you did. It just felt, I'm not kidding, dude, it just feels lazy. It felt like they just were like, if we show up and do it, they will come. And, and they did. Oh, man, like 3,000 like audience votes, and it's at like 8% right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal. So I would say this is one of those dumpster fires that if take the time. You need to understand what the bottom of the barrel is so you can go back and actually appreciate when people put in the time. Like, I'm not kidding, dude. I want everyone that should be your mission. If you are a CW fan, I want you to watch Batwoman first, the very first episode, and then immediately go back and watch Arrow season 1, episode 1 to see the show that kicked it off, and then watch The Flash episode 1. It is absolutely disrespectful to the medium that they did, because it's like,
there's this problem that that people have though, is like when you go back to like Arrow season 1, that was what, 8 years ago now? 8 years ago. The way that they've changed in just making content in the last 8 years is completely different. Like, you can go back and look at even Iron Man 1. Marvel ain't making no Iron Man 1 again. Not as gritty as they did. They're not going to deal with the same shit.
How do you mean? I'm curious. Like, are you talking about the content or the style or what?
No, well, the ending of it is how they end all their fucking movies now.
No, I'm talking about how you said like they don't make things the way they like. How do you mean?
Oh, content wise,
okay.
Yeah.
Like
you can still do that style nowadays and actually make something good, but it's the content that they do, because they're always pushing more shit into it that doesn't really need to be there to get attention from X amount of groups out there because they want that.
And like I said, it's all there in the first couple of episodes. It's there. I mean, you have love triangle nonsense. You have
in Arrow, yeah.
You have drug use. You have.
I would say the way it's shot though is also helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It sets the tone a lot better.
But it will also justify the word lazy. The Batwoman is so fucking lazy.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's just and again, it'll also make you appreciate the actors, dude. Like Arrow, Stephen Amell's probably one of the weakest actors in the show when it starts.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but he gets so much better.
I still find him annoying because all he does is brood. Even when he's happy, he's fucking brooding.
A little bit, yeah. That's why I think I like the crossover so much, because they just let him have moments to have some fun. Like, he's like, oh God. Like, I'll never forget, like, in the Elseworlds strip, I love the interaction when they're in Smallville.
Yeah.
And Barry shoots Oliver in the back, like as payback. And then like the next episode is Oliver being like, I don't know, man. Like I saw you drawing back arrow and shooting stuff without really having to work for it. And it pissed me off. I was like, oh, he gets to be a real person. I love this.
And it shows the complete opposite of like their show's tones too.
Oh, and I love that, because it's like it's weird to see. It's extremely meta, and it's like so self-aware of how it shows. So it's like, oh my God, what? Because they even make like, no, you got to go have like the speech with the girlfriend. You got to go talk to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have those moments. And
honestly, like the relationship that they created between those two shows always reminded me of like the difference between Gotham and Metropolis. It was like, a lot like that, and I feel that they were trying to actually do that with those two. At least that's how I look at it. I hope so.
I would absolutely agree. And it's like that's a thing that people miss. It's like you need the levity to make the sad stuff work. It's like that's why Angel and Buffy fucking used to nail that shit, dude. It was like you're watching like super goofy shit, and then all of a sudden it's like we have the sad moment or somebody dies, and you're like, oh man, like we were laughing 5 minutes ago. This is brutal. Don't do this. And you actually get sad. It's like
some of the best episodes of fucking Buffy were when Angel lost his soul. I was just those are some of the best ones. Dude, you get to see him act as a bad.
Any episode with Angelus is like, yum. It's best TV. No, that would be my homework for anybody who actually likes the CW. Legitimately watch the Batwoman pilot, and then immediately go back and watch the Arrow Flash one. Yeah. You can maybe do Supergirl. I don't think Legends is so appropriate because it requires you to know those characters, so that pilot really doesn't quite work without the other shows. It can, but it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's so crazy the just production value in both. It's like Batwoman has all the glossy and like the checklists, like here's our fight scene and here's our wide shot and here's our thing and here's our flashbacks, and they like it's like you're just stealing all these tropes from better shows.
Yeah. Like it took me a second to get into the flashback thing that they did when they did Arrow when I started watching it, but I was like, okay, I get it because they do it every season. If they would have just done it one season, I would have been like, well, that was just kind of bad storytelling, you know.
Well, and it makes it fun too because it's like with the flashbacks with Arrow, there's a point. It's like a puzzle piece. Like with her flashbacks, it's like you showed us her getting kicked out of the academy and you showed her sister and mom dying. It's like, okay, that's pretty much her backstory. That's all we have. We don't need anything else. Like, so you just introduced like
with
an
Arrow's
element that we don't need.
Arrow's flashbacks were always continuous throughout every episode. Throughout every season, it showed like a different state, which I really loved. It was like every new season was just a new year on the island or wherever he was supposed to be, you know, which was really cool because then it shows you, oh, he didn't just grow up on the fucking island for 5 years and hunting with the stick. He actually learned a lot of this stuff, so it works.
I was 50-50 when you find out he's like off the island and then went off to like Russia and did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then
but
came
it
back.
Works for what that season.
But you
especially.
needed it. You needed it because he had so much shit going on, especially with like the Bratva and shit like that like it needs to be explained. And it's like it kind of sucks that it's like he got on the island and then he had to come back to the island to make the shot work from the first episode.
And then he was fucking makeup and shit. I was just did no one just like check him out? They were just like, yeah, we'll pick his ass up.
It's what I'm saying. It was a little brutal to swallow, but it's like it was one of those moments where it was like you didn't quite know that the show was going to be this good, that it was going to go off and that was going to become a problem.
And not only that too, it's like you can also chalk it up to like, oh well, these guys found him on the island. It wasn't like a bunch of doctors and shit checking him out. He could
or
have
his
been like,
actual family and
shave,
shit.
You know, take a picture of me with the beard now so I can shave this shit off before we get to shore. For anyone gets suspicious.
Yep. I like Arrow. I like it a lot. Again, 1 and 2 are the best seasons. Flash, same. And it's really strange that all those shows kind of do that. They tend to fall off around 3. Because you can tell it's a formula. That was the problem. They stopped trying. I hate to say to try because obviously people were trying to like, there's always people on set who actually really give a shit. And like, like they had a big tone shift in season 5 with Arrow where they tried to do more like John Wicky action stuff and like try and spice it up a bit, which, I appreciate. But really all they kind of did was just repackage season 1. That's kind of all they did. But again, that's your homework, people. Go watch the Arrow pilot, watch the Flash pilot, but first watch the Batwoman pilot, and I promise you will see a difference. And then I'd throw Supergirl in there for the fun of it, but that was also one of the shows that was starting this trend of downfall.
Then go watch. I do hear Supergirl's Gotham pilot too.
I am hearing that Supergirl's good. The only reason why I don't lump Gotham in there is because
I know it's a different network. Yeah.
You could do it with Titans though, because Greg Berlanti runs that one.
Yeah.
So same guy.
Which Dick Grayson's gonna go into the crossover too.
Elseworlds. That'll be cool. That could be fun.
So yeah, you just say go watch it and compare it. And
I think so. It's what.
Yeah.
For the technical aspect of it, I think it's important that people see the difference. Like you need to know the difference, because otherwise it just sounds like we're talking out of our asses constantly, which I am. But at the same time, it's important to understand the examples, because if you don't watch the good and the bad, then you have no perspective. So. Yeah. So that's all I got. That was my hate. That was my misogynistic hate, and
it's funny too because
I'm not an ally apparently.
So before the show even aired, she like tweeted out or something, some bullshit that her show's not for straight white old guys or something.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I was like, why would you say that? One, that's just gonna make your reviewers even more like, let's see
Prone
what
to
we
hate
can
you.
find to hate about this. But I don't feel that any actor, no matter what your show is based on, you shouldn't go out and call out like a whole group.
Demographic.
Yeah.
Why? Especially when that's the demographic you want, you idiot. Like, that's the one that buys the toys.
Not
and
only that,
shows
that's
up
the
and-
demographic that probably grew Arrow, which grew the entire universe.
It's just this idea of shitting on your own
Um,
fans is weird.
But since we're going on fans,
No, wait.
No.
Wait. I just thought about something because of the LGBTQ
okay,
shit.
yeah,
They actually pissed off a bunch of people because the chick she's making out with and like who's her girlfriend in the flashbacks or whatever, who's like the one that gets kidnapped and whatever, and she saves her, fucking ends up marrying a dude.
oh, like
Yeah.
her girlfriend thing or whatever, yeah.
So
Okay.
she was one of those like lesbians until
Until
I'm not. Yep.
Yeah.
And oh boy, that pissed off some people. And I'm
Really?
like,
I haven't
there you
read
go.
nothing on that, so I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna watch it and
It's-
then check out
bruh,
the shit.
it's please watch this show and let me know what you think. Because
See how long it actually stays on there.
It took Hannah and I, it was about 50 minutes long, 50.
Okay.
It took us about an hour and 25 minutes to watch it
Yeah.
because I was pausing and laughing constantly
Okay.
because things looked dumb, dialogue was stupid.
Where'd you
about-
did you watch it on live?
The CW
or
app.
CW app.
We
Okay.
watched it on the CW app. And
Okay.
yeah, oh boy, it was brutal. It was fucking brutal. So yeah,
All right.
go have fun. Go watch that. Go
Well, in
go
some-
watch the bottom of the barrel.
And some good fan news then. Hopefully
Yay.
it's good. Anyways.
Yay! I want to be happy.
They had just announced that the original cast members from Animaniacs will be returning to do the voices for Animaniacs the reboot on Hulu.
As long as I get a couple of Freakazoid episodes in Pinky and the Brain, I'm in. Let's go.
And they
me
show
all my
all
old
of them
shit.
back in there. Rob,
Yep.
Maurice, Jess, Tress, blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Hello, nurse. Do you remember? Do you remember the three?
Hello, Nurse.
Do you remember the three names?
Wacko, Yakko, and Dot.
Yeah, boy.
Come on.
Appreciate you. Just gotta make sure.
I got the whole series somewhere over
Fucking
here.
great show.
So yeah, that's kind of a cool tidbit of news to be like, here's something nice after John's fuck this Batwoman.
Okay, can I say, I don't think I was that mean on the show.
No, you
other than
weren't.
the fact that, because it wasn't like me yelling at Titans. Because Titans is just systematic awfulness. Batwoman, I didn't have high hopes for, and all it did was confirm that, like, oh no, I think we're done. I think CW is. I think Crisis is gonna finish strong.
It's gonna reboot the entire series,
and
all
Flash
of
will get-
everything.
And Flash will get one more season, maybe, and then it's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So with that
With that,
said, I watched
no, you didn't.
X-Men Dark Phoenix finally. I think that's what it's called, anyways.
Shit.
You
That's
have
the
not
Sophie
yet watched
Turner
it, but
That's Sansa Stark running around.
from watching it first time, whatever, I didn't find it to be as bad as everyone was saying.
I think my whole deal with that is the things I've heard, because I'm gonna go off of I don't know shit first, and then let you do it since you actually fucking watched it.
Yeah.
I heard my biggest, a lot of the biggest deals is like everybody hates it because obviously it just breaks universe shit. It's terrible.
Like how, though?
Like timelines.
It
You know,
doesn't.
how does Fassbender and how does Magneto and Professor X?
Oh,
turn out
you
to-
mean like their appearances and shit? Yeah, I get that.
and weird shit like that, and like the X women scene is all really fucking dumb. It's like trying to tell Professor X like when did you sacrifice anything?
So I want to say something about that scene since you just brought it up, because
Okay.
in the trailer, when did you sacrifice everything? It should be called X-Woman or whatever like that. The funny thing about that scene is she's arguing because like Jean Grey put herself in risk.
Yeah.
Or not. Is it Jean Grey? Yeah, Jean Grey.
Yeah. It was after the spaceship thing.
Yeah, it was right after that. And she's like, it seems like all the women do all the work. Here's the fucking funny thing. 1, Mystique didn't do shit. 2, fucking Nightcrawler and Quicksilver did everything.
And then they get fucking benched for like the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Well, Quicksilver does, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Which was I was like, no, why? Why'd you do that to him?
But again, when we talked about it the first time, I go, that scene is so fucking unaware of itself. Is that like, when was the last time you fucking sacrificed anything? And it's just one of those moments where it's like, it must be nice to be standing there looking down at a man on a wheelchair. I wanted like, when was the last time you sacrificed anything? And I wanted like a meme of like Professor X like grabbing his leg and picking up like a fucking noodle, going blah, blah, blah. Like, what?
It's like literally, he could walk because he walked in the other the time travel one, but to walk, he had to give up his powers. So he's literally sacrificing walking to use his powers to help everybody all the time. Shut the fuck up.
I was like, yeah, whatever. You're starting to sound like an ex-wife.
And then get this. Now I might be wrong. It was just like something that happened when they were in space. They tell Storm to seal up the holes to the spaceship. That's in space. So she like uses ice to ice them up in space. I'm like, I thought her powers, how are her powers able to work in space? I need to understand that.
The only nerd excuse I could give for that, because I don't necessarily know.
Because the way she did it, I was like, you can't do that, but okay.
The only thing I could argue is that maybe she can use elements. Like, she controls the elements. So, like, water would still be there. Like, from people breathing inside the ship, just random moisture in the air inside the ship. I don't know how it works in space, if there is any, because it's a vacuum, so I don't know if there's any.
I don't see how you could control any of the climates and stuff in space.
Exactly.
So honestly, my biggest things were all had to deal with like that first opening scene.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck? And then
But I've heard with the movie, pretty much if you let it play off as pseudo its own film, or kind of like only off of
honestly,
the
actually
Fassbender run,
it
works fine.
It works actually with everything. It works together with everything besides their aging. But then you could chalk it up to, hey, when Wolverine went back in time, he just slowed he did something to reality and it slowed everything down. Maybe Deadpool did it because he has that time thing.
I won't give you that either. I appreciate your effort. I commend the effort.
But no, then, the only other questionable thing would be the ending. But then it's like, okay, yeah, that could still work within the timeline that they've already set up. So it doesn't matter. Because technically, like, somebody said something online that I read, and I was like, well, no, because when Wolverine changed this, and then he went back to the present, everything else was changed in the present time anyways. So, it made sense. Surprisingly, like they didn't fuck their timeline up that much with this movie. Besides their appearances.
Yeah. I
do agree with Kevin Smith though, that like, because he was talking about the movie, how it was okay. He was like, it would work better if it was like this whole movie and then the ending from Last Stand, where like Wolverine does the into her.
Okay.
He said that would have been a pretty dope movie right there.
Okay.
To take the juiciness of this and then to give it that ending. But of course, it a lot of shit would.
But then you also wouldn't have the history between Wolverine and Jean.
Right.
So 2 questions. One, because I know they did a ton of reshoots and just completely redid the ending. Was the ending any good? Because I think they fight like on a train or some shit.
The train stuff was cool. It was the very end thing that they do with Jean Grey and the other thing that was kind of just like
the thing and the other thing.
Yeah.
You're killing me here.
They
man.
didn't
I
really
haven't seen the film.
They didn't give them names.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, like, did they have? What are you talking about? I don't know what's happening. Paint the scene.
There's like aliens in there.
Like aliens, or are they aliens?
They're aliens. They're not from Earth. They're aliens.
Okay, thank you.
And like they make it.
This is the first time we see aliens, I think, isn't it?
In
Unless,
the
like,
X-Men
Apocalypse
verse.
was supposed to be
In the
right.
X-Men verse, yeah.
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 That's an important detail, Michael.
Yeah. They don't give them names though, so it's like. But it's they actually draw it out. They make it really intense. Like, but there's also a lot of parts where you're just like, oh well, this is gonna happen, or he's gonna say this, or he's gonna say that. You know, you could call those lines. Like Xavier was trying to read the thing's mind, and he's like, "What do you think he's gonna say?"
I cannot understand their language.
He's like, "What are you?"
Oh, okay.
You know, because he couldn't read its mind. So yeah.
That's a neato paint.
So, but there's a lot of cool stuff in it. Visually, it goes by really fast for a 2-hour film. So
God, it's 2 hours. Holy fuck.
yeah, and the whole like woman shit that basically leaves the door after she says it at the beginning. They don't really. I think there's another part where the alien chick said something about it, but
Yeah.
nothing major.
Oh, and did you like? Because I maintain, I think it was a waste. Do you like how they waste their only F-bomb? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember because Scott does it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, at first I was just
Cyclops.
like, wait, what? Because I didn't remember that they get one, first of all.
Yeah. That's always the fun part, is like people forgetting like PG-13 movies. You get one F-bomb.
Yeah. And then well, I mean, he kind of uses it in like, to emphasize don't fucking touch her, basically.
That's exactly what he said, yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
stay the fuck away from her or something like that.
So
It's like, oh my God.
it works, but I mean,
You
I
could've
don't really.
used
There wasn't really any other places that they could have used it. That I paid attention to. That
I think I would have
No.
given it to Nightcrawler. Because he's a foreign guy, so him to use an American
And they do
profanity,
a thing with
could've been
him
funny.
where like Xavier's trying to get him to grab him, and then some other mind controller thing is like controlling him, so he's just like shooting all over. So yeah, he could have been like, "What the fuck?"
fuck, you know, something like that, and to hear it like in his German accent or whatever, it could have been really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's like because normally, you know me, I'm a proprietor. It's like you use it for a purpose. Am I
Right.
getting a laugh? Am I giving emphasis, or am I, trying to convey something? And
Right.
like, it's like, get the fuck away from her. It's like, oh my God, like how cliche and lame. It's like,
Yeah.
it would have
And
been.
then you don't cuss it all the rest of the time, like you
Yeah.
know? It's like if
Exactly.
you're saying don't fucking touch her, get the fuck away, and then
As
you
like-
continue to
And
fight,
it's like he has a
and
power
you're
that
not
you
like
could Well,
Yeah.
and Scott has a fucking power that you could emphasize that much more visually than using F-bomb. It's like, get away from her, and then have his eyes start to glow. Like,
Yeah.
that would be the way to do that. But,
or Beast could have done that, and it would
That could have been
pretty
funny.
dope.
because he tends to try and stay proper and compose himself.
Yeah,
and
which
stuff.
is
So
why
to
I
see
really
him-
liked how they utilized him in this movie, because he kind of breaks that a little bit.
Okay. I like that.
And then
No, that's what I'm interested in seeing, just because dude, and Apocalypse I'm going to watch just because it looks like such
Have
a
you not
dumpster
watched it?
fire. Nah, it just looks so stupid.
It's eh. There's a scene in Apocalypse that Magneto and Quicksilver share, where Quicksilver's basically like, I came to find my dad, and because he's trying to like talk him down and shit, but he never initially tells him he's his dad.
Okay.
And then, of course, this movie, there's no fucking mention of it because they're not in any scenes together. So I'm just like, y'all wasted it. Don't worry, don't worry. Marvel will fix it, and they'll get Quicksilver back in and Magneto. Maybe there's talks that they might not even bring our traditional X-Men into the MCU.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah,
Denzel Washington is Magneto.
I don't think they're even gonna do Magneto or Xavier.
Oh, that make me sad. How do you have X-Men without them?
The new X-Men.
Honestly,
I don't know.
How do you not do that, though?
There are comics right now coming out that Marvel's trying to get out that are gonna deal with a whole new trope of X-Men type things that are
that's
nothing that
fucking
we're
dumb.
related to us.
But that's proving that the fucking studios don't understand what the fuck makes these people important.
Not only that is they actually have the opportunity now to finally have Storm marry fucking Black Panther, and it's super easy, barely an inconvenience in Black Panther 2 that she fucking meets him.
You can't do that though. You already introduced his love interest, so unless you kill her off,
she wasn't in any of the other 3 movies afterwards. Who the fuck gives a crap?
doesn't matter. It was in his film, and that's all that people care about for some fucking dumb reason. That movie sucks, by the way.
she's banging M'Baku. M'Baku.
Cause M'Baku's thick. Wow.
I really think that would be the
fucking
time to do it. You know, yeah, they introduced a love interest before, but she's off doing a lot better shit.
I'd rather they just stay away from those fucking franchises unless they can refix them. Like Black Panther is that's a dead end.
I just want to see Black Panther and Storm's kid grow up later. Yeah.
Oh,
because they're good. They want to do like a Young Avengers. Why not do that?
I see.
That
one, because they have an animated film of the next Avengers with other kids.
Yeah.
Apparently not well received, so I think I'm in the minority when it comes to that.
The next Avengers was the one. That was the one with Tony Stark was holding them all, right?
He had all the kids on like another planet or something.
One.
And
no, he was on
enjoyed
Earth.
The shit out of it.
He was on Earth. Yeah. Yeah, they were just hidden.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, what? I thought Ultron had taken over Earth.
He did, but they were. I don't remember where they were. Maybe
We'll have to double check. I think they're on a different planet, dude. Because
they
remember,
leave.
he fired like those robot people. In the
but
sky
they
and
end up
bring them back to Earth.
They end up leaving, sometime in the movie, and then they're like, "Oh, we're here," or whatever. You know, he wasn't even out of like anywhere. He was like in plain sight, I think.
You might be right. It's been a while since I've seen it. I really like that movie, like a lot. I don't know. It's fun. It's not like perfect by any means or anything like that. It's just fun. It was a neat little like, oh, this is where it could have been, where it could have gone. Old Hulk was neat. That was the Ultron I fucking wanted in the movie. God damn it.
When they said Age of Ultron, I thought that's what we were gonna get.
Dude, right? Fuck, dude. My expectations went through the roof when I heard Age of Ultron, and I was like, James Spader doing like the creepy voice. I'm like, this could work.
Yeah.
This could really work. And then pretty much once he starts talking in like complete like paragraphs instead of just like little quip sentences, like I'm like, oh no. But whatever. Age of Ultron, another one that I like a lot more than most people do, and it's totally for like, it's all for character interaction. It's all just the Joss Whedon-y back and forth dialogue from the heroes. I don't give a shit. I hate their villain. Their villain eats all the butts, like every butt, like just copious amounts of booty.
There's so many things though. I want to go back to this real quick.
I guess we got to finish Dark Phoenix. I forgot.
I want to go back to the whole, like you said, the love interest thing. They also tried to do a love interest between ScarJo and Cap, and then they did ScarJo and Hulk. So they don't give a shit. Disney doesn't care about love unless it's a prince
they don't know
and
what
a
love
princess.
But
what the fuck?
I don't know. With Dark Phoenix though, I'm gonna see it. It looks all right. I mean, it honestly doesn't look like the worst X-Men film. Again, it can't because X-Men Origins Wolverine exists, which I understand is fucking horrible, but I like it. And
they said this is the worst X-Men movie. So many people did, but I watched it. Maybe it's because I thought, everyone's like, it's the worst, so I didn't have high expectations. I was like, it's not that bad. I mean,
and X-Men Last Stand still exists as well. Like, that's fucking terrible. Did we all forget about I'm the Juggernaut, bitch?
Yeah.
Or fucking Christ. Last Stand is
It's
terrible.
okay. It's okay. Deadpool got us a good Juggernaut.
Yeah, will bring us back. But I guess, yeah. I don't know. I hope the MCU can do a good X-Men. I think they keep forgetting. It's like, no. Just adapt from the books that made them famous. Stop trying to push your own bullshit that nobody cares about.
I hope that they that Disney does release that New Mutants movie that they shot years ago that they've been putting on the back burner.
Yeah, fucking Maisie Williams was in that shit.
Yeah.
Arya Stark.
I really want to watch that.
I'm curious. It looked creepy. It was supposed to be like scary. Oh, and I need to watch Legion. Legion's the thing that everybody talks about that I just don't watch. It makes me sad.
Yeah, and they
I like Aubrey they
canceled that.
Bay. Oh yeah, but they got their last season in, so they're going in. I think it's playing right now or whatever. I think they're on like FXX or Epix or something.
Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to watch that. So we'll see.
I just hope, if I just want to say this, Disney, if you're not going to release New Mutants in theaters, there's streaming services everywhere.
Yeah, bro.
Hulu, Netflix,
Disney Plus. You own your own streaming service.
That's a little dark for that, probably. Or I'm pleading to them right now.
Oh man.
Or just drop it on the internet for free for us. Put it on a YouTube channel. I'll watch the fucking ads. I don't care. I'll just hit skip after 3 seconds, but
you're so adorable.
I just want to see the damn movie. It's based on a really good story arc too, from the a specific comic. I think it was something Bear. I forget the name of it.
Aren't they essentially like in their own
so
Arkham Asylum, essentially?
It takes place in the X-Men universe, so they're all mutants, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like in some type of psych ward type thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like some asylum, and they're like testing them on their powers and shit like that. I'm like, that would be interesting as fuck. Like Island of Dr. Moreau type shit. I don't know. It could be fun. I want, just give me different. Give me some effort. Come on, writers, go out there and do something. Do something exciting. Call some fucking fan fiction writers. Give them $20. Say here, give me your story. I'll post.
It's based on the Demon Bear comic.
Well, all right then.
Thing. That's what it is. And if you look at the imagery for that shit, it's pretty dope.
Well, that sounds like a doable thing.
But yeah, so it was. I really fucking want to see that movie, dude. It's been years since I saw the trailer the first time, and every so often, I rip the trailer from YouTube, and every so often I'll watch it and just be like,
this
is what comic book movies were headed towards, like different genres of it.
Yeah.
It's
a shame to see us kind of moving backwards when it comes to entertainment right now. But, like I said, I'll hopefully go see Joker, and that'll be something different, and, whatever. It's like, I don't know why everybody needs everything to be a fucking universe. Why can't it just be a good movie and we just walk away?
Joker's going to blow up, and then the next movie WB does is going to be just Bane, and it's going to be a wrestler going through these issues, and actually, that'd be pretty dope.
Bro, you can fuck off. I was going to watch. I was like, you are explaining something I would absolutely watch. God damn. That sounds great. Like, imagine it's like Nacho Libre, but dark.
Fucking no. It would be like the wrestler with Mickey Rourke, but then towards the end, he becomes like Bane.
That'd be funny.
Fuck
and
yeah.
Maybe he could actually be Hispanic, please, you fuckers. Anyway.
And then
Nope.
you get a Scarecrow movie.
Let's just have everyone watch Batman or Batwoman and figure out how not to do it, and we'll move forward from there. Okay, let's go do that. Solidarity, nerds. Nerds rise up.
I have no quote for today.
Do you want to make up your own?
So, fuck off. There.
I like it. Later, nerds.
What the fuck, CW? What the fuck, CW? What the fuck, CW? We love you so much.
Oh, what the fuck?
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble. And join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Don't forget to find Myke on all social platforms, including YouTube, by searching Myke Shrews, MYKESHREWS. You can find John on Instagram and YouTube via baldmanbad. Thanks and have a great day.